Imagine being born with a destiny already written for you. No pressure, right? Long ago, the people of Israel were going through a rough patch, living under the thumb of their neighbors, the Philistines. In the midst of this, an angel appears to a woman who couldn't have children and tells her something mind-blowing. She's going to have a son, and he is going to start the rescue of her people. But there was a catch. This boy had to live by a specific set of rules called the Nazirite vow. He could never drink alcohol. He had to avoid certain foods, and the big one, he could never, ever cut his hair. His name was Samson. As he grew, it became clear he wasn't your average kid. He possessed a supernatural, earth-shaking strength, not from a gym, but from the Spirit of God. He was meant to be a leader, but as we're about to see, Samson's biggest muscle was his heart, and it was also his biggest weakness. You'd think a guy with a divine mission would be laser-focused, but Samson was driven by his impulses. Samson literally ripped the lion apart with his bare hands. He ate the honey, breaking his vow of staying away from dead things, and even made a bet with the Philistines based on a riddle about it. Samson used his strength for personal vendettas rather than national leadership. In one famous instance, after being betrayed, he caught 300 foxes, tied their tails together with torches, and let them loose in the Philistines' grain fields. Epic battle sequence. Israelites tie Samson with thick ropes, but he snaps them effortlessly like burnt thread. He picks up the jawbone of a donkey. Philistine soldiers in bronze armor charge with spears and shields. Samson, hair flowing majestically, single-handedly defeats wave after wave of soldiers with the jawbone, bodies falling around him in spectacular fashion. In another, after being tied up by his own people who were afraid of the Philistines' retaliation, he snapped the ropes like they were burnt thread, picked up the jawbone of a donkey, and defeated 1,000 soldiers single-handedly. Samson was invincible on the outside, but he was crumbling on the inside. He kept visiting enemy territory, looking for love in all the wrong places. That's when he met Delilah. The Philistine leaders offered Delilah a massive fortune to find the secret of Samson's strength. They offer her bags of gold and silver. Her expression shows cunning calculation as she accepts their offer. She asked him over and over. He lied to her 3 times, telling her he'd lose his strength if he was tied with fresh bowstrings or new ropes, or if his hair was woven into a loom. Each time she tried it, and each time he broke free. You'd think he would leave by now, but Samson was blinded by his feelings. Eventually he wore down. He told her the truth. If my head is shaved, my strength will leave me. While he slept on her lap, she called a barber. The hair fell. The vow was broken. And for the first time in his life, the strongest man in the world was just a man. The ending of Samson's story is tragic, but it's also where the deepest lesson lies. Philistine soldiers easily overpower the now weakened Samson. They bind him in chains and cruelly blind him. Cut to Samson, now with longer hair beginning to grow back, grinding grain in a prison like an animal. His face shows weariness and the scars of his blinding. Philistine civilians mock him through the prison bars. The Philistines captured him, blinded him, and put him to work grinding grain in a prison like a farm animal. He was a laughingstock. The man who was supposed to be a hero was now a circus act for his enemies. But in that dark prison, something happened. Samson's hair began to grow back. More importantly, his heart began to turn back to God. He realized that his strength was never really his. It was a gift he had taken for granted. Massive Philistine temple, filled with thousands of people celebrating. The temple is supported by 2 enormous central pillars. Philistine leaders in their finest robes sit in places of honor. The crowd cheers as guards bring out the blind Samson to mock him. One day, the Philistines held a massive celebration in their temple to honor their god. They brought Samson out to mock him in front of thousands of people. Samson asked the servant leading him to let him lean against the two main pillars that held up the entire roof. Samson, guided by a servant, places his hands on the two massive pillars. His face turns upward in prayer, divine light returning to his eyes despite his blindness. His hair flows magnificently as supernatural strength returns to his body. He prayed one last time. "Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just once more." With a final burst of strength, he pushed the pillars apart. The entire temple collapsed. In his final moment, Samson achieved more against the oppressors of his people than he had in his entire life. He died that day, but he died as the hero he was always meant to be. So, what do we do with a story like Samson's? It's a reminder that raw talent and strength aren't enough. Without character and self-control, your greatest gifts can become your downfall. Samson spent most of his life chasing what he wanted in the moment, forgetting what he was called to do in the long run. But it's also a story of hope. It shows us that no matter how many times you mess up or how far you fall from your potential, you are never too far gone. In his weakest, most broken moment, Samson turned back to the source of his strength, and he was heard. Your hair might not be your strength, but we all have gifts. The question is, are we going to use them for ourselves or for something bigger? If this story gave you something to think about, don't let it stop here. Tap like to help more people see it. Share it with someone who needs the reminder. Subscribe for more timeless stories told simply. What part of Samson's journey hit you most? How will you use your gifts for something bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments. New episodes every month. Hit the bell so you don't miss what's next.